Well, what brought me into innovation was frustration. Oh, what about this, and will it work, and will there be a market? So that's when I decided to help old elephants to dance again. And that's my mission now for the past 25 years.
Welcome back to another episode of Limitless. Today I'm very, very excited because we're going to cover a topic which we haven't had here before. We're going to talk about innovation and innovation facilitation. And as I was researching and looking around the world for some of the leaders in the world, I found someone who I'm very, very pleased to be with us on the show today. And a warm welcome to you. Guys, how are you today?
Thank you, Nick. Thank you. I'm great. And come on. You know, it was time that you did design thinking and innovation in a program called Limitless. Hey, this is what stretched the comfort zone, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's get started there. What brought you into innovation, and share us your background in that field, guys?
Well, what brought me into innovation was frustration, Nick. I'm a business economist, worked in the companies in the 80s and the 90s, and they all ask me, on the marketing side, Gijs, innovate our portfolio, do new things. And the moment that we did that and did with a team, then they all said, well, I don't know, and what about this, and will it work, and will there be a market, and what about a profit margin, and can we make it, and this, and suddenly they asked all the questions which we already answered. So I got into innovation, especially, and I focused on it in the 90s when the internet came. And everybody was into startups. Everybody wanted to do startups. And the whole innovation world, led by Silicon Valley, was into me, myself, and I innovation. And they all funded a lot, those startups. And the old big incumbent companies, they got attacked. And they didn't know what to do. How do we defend ourselves? It was this new thing, digitalization and websites and digital products and services, and so that's when I decided to help old elephants to dance again. And that's my mission now for the past 25 years.
Thank you for sharing that. And I think you are at the right place at the right time now then, because there's so much change happening so fast. And if we don't innovate now, we'll be out of business tomorrow. It's just moving so much faster than before, doesn't it?
Well, that's what everybody says, Nick. And it's very obvious, you know. But what you do is you make people scared. And when you make people scared, they freeze. They're like a little rabbit in the headlights of the car, and it freezes. You do nothing, right? So, you know, you will be out of business tomorrow. I don't think so. Most people will be out of business tomorrow. But what will you do in 5 years or 10 years? And that's the question. So I think scaring people, you have to do something, otherwise you're out of business. Then people say, no, come on, don't exaggerate. Of course, you need to adapt. It's survival of the fittest. So there are a lot of changes. Are they going faster? I don't know if they're going really fast. That's what we all say. The world turns faster. Also, I did this 30 years or 20 years ago. But at this moment, I think, oh, come on, because we share more and we view more and more is digitalized, it might seem it goes faster. But technology has always moved us from one phase to the other. So, yes, you need to adapt, and you have a choice to lead or to be the last animal of the herd. And the choice is yours, entrepreneur or government organization.
Yeah, and what is it then that makes innovation so difficult? Because the fact that, you know, we don't have many in Southeast Asia is working in innovation and think tank and so on.
What innovation makes difficult is trust. Because real innovation, you do something for the first time. It can be new to your organization, or new to the market, or new to the country, or new to the world. So you do things for the first time. Or you do things for the first time, they don't succeed always. So it's all about trust, building trust. in your organization that the new thing will work. And so it's all culture-related innovation. There are, countries where taking risk is rewarded, but in most of the world, except the USA, in the rest of the world, people don't like to take risks. You cannot fail in other countries because it will, like in the Gulf region, hurt my image. Or in Japan, you cannot fail in Japan. Or you cannot fail in Europe, right? The only country where you can fail is the United States. So that's why all the methodology from the United States don't work in the rest of the world. Everybody goes to Silicon Valley, they import whatever they have there and then start to copy them, and then it doesn't work and people get annoyed and they say, you see, innovation is really difficult. And the main reason is that you have to build trust in the whole organization that it will work.
And then if we're looking at what's the right time, or when should organizations innovate then? If we need to create this trust, when is that happening?
That's a great question. Now, in a sector with 10 organizations, there's only one innovator. And the rest are innovators, as I call them. They wait. And the innovator, how long does it take from idea to market? In IT, digital solutions, it might be 2 years. In industry, it might be 5 years. In pharmaceuticals, it's 15 years. And then when you launch it, when do you reach your break-even point? When you have earned back your investments. That's almost the same time. So if I work in industry and I want to create a new growth curve, I have to start 10 years before I need it. So there you innovate out of ambition and you innovate out of vision. And at that moment, the market is still really good. So there is no urgency, but there's a lot of money. That's only 1 or 2 who do that. And the rest waits. Oh, it's so busy now. And then suddenly, oh my God, the growth goes down a bit. And then when the market growth slows down, also margins tend to decline. And then you get double hit. Sales is down and margins are down. Boom. So the only thing you can control is costs. First reorganization after 2 years. Second reorganization after 3 years. Oh my God, don't tell it that we need to reorganize again. And then you're doing the same thing with less people. Does that give perspective? No. And that's the moment you need to innovate. And that at that moment, it's the other way around. There is high urgency because I lost a quarter of my colleagues, but there's no money. Now, those are the 2 sweet spots for innovation. And you can choose. Do you want to innovate out of ambition or you want to innovate out of fear? And the choice is yours. And 9 out of 10 innovate out of fear. And that's no problem because that gives high energy and high commitment. Only you don't have the time and the money anymore to do something revolutionary. When you innovate on the moment you have the ambition, the good news is you have time and money to go really revolutionary. Only there is no urgency. So, getting everyone and keeping everyone on board when it goes well, they don't see the need for it, most people. So only strong leaders, and most of them are family companies, because family companies don't think about next year or the year after. They think in 10 years or in decades or in generations. How can we still be here in 2040? And that's why they start now with robotizing. Right? Because, of course, that won't work now or tomorrow, but in 5 years it will work. So when we will still want to lead in 15 years, we have to start robotization now.
Yeah, that's very fascinating. And as I was researching your profile and looking into the different methods and so on that have made you famous and successful in the space, I came across the 4th innovation methodology. So why did you create that one?
Out of frustration. Out of frustration because everybody stopped me. And so I wanted to let all the elephants dance. And that means a couple of things. Design thinking alone is not good enough. That often ends in innovation theater. Let's do a nice hackathon. Yeah, in 2 days we will revolutionize it. And we do a nice pitch. And the board says, yes, go. And afterwards, niente, nada, nothing happens. No, you have to innovate out of vision. And you have to combine design thinking with business thinking. It's not about creating new concepts. It's adding new value to the market and new value to the company. And I need to invest my money. So what are you promising me? What's in it for me? So you have to combine design thinking and business thinking. That's why I created this methodology. You see here the map. It's in the form of an expedition. Because that's what it is, right? So first you must get rid of your old ideas. Because you first have to look around again, be outside again, instead of only playing inside. Then you have to generate new ideas. But are they good or not? That depends on where we want to go. So that's why we start here on full steam ahead on the start with making a strategic North Star. Where do we want to go? If you don't know where you want to go with innovation, everything is wrong. And how can you choose out of 1,000 ideas the best one if you don't know where you want to go? Then you test ideas, concepts, straight away in the market. Is there a market? And then you return here and homecoming. But you don't return with a nice idea or a nice concept. You return with a business case. So it's from business thinking to design thinking back to business thinking and landed in the organization. And what is the most successful thing is this. In innovation, the slow way is the fast way, and the fast way is a dead end. Everybody wants to create innovation centers, innovation hubs, do lean startups, quick. But then others create my new baby, and it always will be, a stepson or a stepdaughter. There is no ownership in the existing organization. When your organization is dependent on 2 or 3 innovators, you might be lucky, but you're not innovative. So you have to take the slowest animals of the herd in your innovation team. And when you make them move, the whole organization moves. And that's why this is a journey. It's called we-innovation and not I-innovation. And in we-innovation, you build the trust on the journey because they go out themselves, they ideate themselves, they test it at customers and see it works. And then they create their own business case and then there is ownership and they believe in it. And there is such energy that this methodology doubles innovation effectiveness all over the world due to the trust it builds and due to the ownership it builds. And yes, this will take you 5 months. And they say, come on, guys, I want to do lean startup in 2 weeks. And then I say, what the beep? You haven't innovated for 15 years and now 5 months is too long. Be real, man. There is no magic here, only hard work and dedication. So it's spread all over the world, Nick, in 14 languages, and I'm so happy to share it with everyone.
Absolutely wonderful. Today, there's a lot of listeners here and an audience definitely in Asia. And what's the secret then of the method?
The secret is we do it together. That's the secret.
So doing it together over 5 months is what I'm hearing. That is what it takes, right?
Yes, but it's not full. I love to facilitate innovation projects where people from the work floor are represented. Not a couple of innovators from headquarters. They should be innovation facilitators. And then it is like 1 day a week because you have to stretch the elastic slowly. If you pull the elastic too hard, it breaks. So in 5 months, you expand your limits in thinking, in knowledge, in trust, and this is how you move along. So doing it together, we innovation, ownership builds the energy because after this it starts. And then your development project starts. And now, out of every 3 concepts that enter the product development pipeline, or they call it the stage gate process, only 1 exits. 2 die because they get killed by management. And with this methodology, out of the 4 concepts that enter, the 4 business cases, 3 hit the market. Why? Because the energy is there. Because you want to launch your own kit and you want to make it happen. So it's the joint energy which is the secret.
Yeah. And then if we're running this project, should we lead it or run it or facilitate it? Or what would be the best?
That's a great question, right? There's a difference between leading and facilitating. A project leader leads the content. A facilitator facilitates the process. Those are separate roles. When you try to do both, it's the end of the project. Because when you steer in direction of the left because you like it more, everybody say, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, you're pushing us there. And people don't like to be pushed, especially not in the West. So you need to facilitate the process, being that you lead the process in a very enthusiastic way. You are the guide of the journey. You're not the expedition leader, you are the guide of the journey. And the group decides, and the expedition leader, the project leader decides. So first of all, you see that me too, I first was on the management side, then I was on the project leader side, and when you know the content, and then I was on the facilitation side. And as facilitator, you do less, and the less you do, the bigger the influence is.
And I understand that you're actually empowering and training world-class innovation facilitators. And maybe you can just talk a little bit about that. And also what makes a world-class innovation facilitator?
Yeah, well, you know, world-class meaning that you can lead a group and that a group follows you. That's also built on trust. Trust in the process. Trust in you. You must be there for everyone. You must take care of the weakest animals of the group. You must be firm. Firm for commitment. Commitment from everyone. Don't treat the bosses different than the blue-collar workers who are in the team. If the boss say, I want to leave, you say, no. We agreed that we have a workshop now. He said, yes, I have something else to do. I said, I don't have something else to do. And you have to be very straight and very strict. And because I'm Dutch, I can do that. And hierarchy doesn't interest me at all. Once you're committed in the team, you're a member of the team. And I won't treat you different as CFO or as blue-collar worker in the factory. And then people see that you're serious about the process. And when they see the process delivers results, they can trust in the process. So that's what you do. And you are most of the time as world-class facilitator, the more you are up front, the worse your process is. You shouldn't be up front at all. You should say, hey guys, this is the plan. This is what we're going to do. This is the template. This is the assignment. Go. And your instruction should be half a minute. And when you have 5 minutes before the group explaining what you do, your template is wrong. You didn't explain it right. You were not prepared right? So less is more as facilitator. And this is what I must learn all the facilitators, because most of them want to be in the spotlight. A good facilitator is not in the spotlight. The team is in the spotlight. And you are like a shepherd's dog. You mean the shepherd's dog of the herd? You are the shepherd's dog. You're not in front. You're keeping the herd, and you move the herd in a direction where you know there's the goal, because that's where you have to lead them. And I train people in this methodology, and in this methodology, you can read the methodology in the book, but how to facilitate it, that's the trick. And we do that 6 days in Italy in June. And people from all over the world come in a small group, 12 people. I'm leading it full time myself. It's hard work. And it really is a transformational in skills for everybody who comes there. From 30 to 65, people come and learn how to facilitate this journey.
Fantastic. Very, very inspiring. And there might be some of the listeners who either want to, take you up on becoming facilitators themselves, or maybe run some project for themselves in Asia, where most of our listeners
Sure,
are.
they're welcome. Yes.
What's the best way for them to reach out to you to continue this conversation?
Connect to me on LinkedIn. My name is there, Gijs Bertus, JJ van Wulfen. Connect to me on LinkedIn, reach out, and then we'll see if it really suits you and if it fits your plans and your ambitions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and thanks to all the listeners as well.
Thank you, Nick. Lots of success with Limitless. Ciao, ciao from Italy.